Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and today we're gonna go ahead and review He-Man Masters of the Universe Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction. This is from the 2000X series cartoon collection. There he is, and there you go. And let me go ahead and take him out of packaging, and we'll take a look and see what's going on with Skeletor. Alright, so here is Skeletor. Here is his Havoc Staff. Thank goodness they actually have the Havoc Staff painted differently. And it is painted. It doesn't seem like it's a secondary piece. Oh wait, it is though. I can move it around. But the horn is painted. So that's a surprise because I think with Origins it's all just one big color. Printed out. So, and there's the detail on the Havoc Staff itself. And then of course we have the two halves of his sword, but it's not the power sword, so it's kind of like it's how they did it on 2000X. But the thing of it is, I mean, like, this was an interesting thing going on with the original, but look. Yeah, definitely for sure. There's really no reason. There's no lore to say, oh, one half of the power sword is onto He-Man and the other one's the other half. And even the other thing too that was kind of funny, and I don't know where it originated from, because obviously the idea of the split power sword was in the toy, but at the same time it wasn't in the cartoons. What I did see it in is John Blackstar. John Blackstar basically has the same setup as this one, but anyway. So here's the figure. I like the face. I really do. Too bad the jaw doesn't open. From that point, it looks really good. You know what? I keep forgetting to straighten out the legs. Maybe that will change the whole thing for me. So here's the thing though, right? So we know Mondo is making their own 2000X version. It's 1/12 scale. I believe it's slightly bigger than this one, but maybe that's the reason why sometimes I'm kind of disappointed with how this looks, because and this might be how Mattel kind of painted themselves in a corner by giving Mondo the 1/6 or the 1/12 license to produce the 2000X. So they're kind of limited. This is in a way not really 1/12 scale, but this is, I think, 5.5. Let me see. Let me measure it really quick. Yeah, it's exactly 6 inches actually, which is kind of weird. I believe Mondo's is 7 inches, but it's not the height that I'm kind of envious with Mondo's. It's the proportions. The proportion has heroic proportions, whereas like the bigger body, smaller head, and this one just looks like it looks lacking for me. And it's not because of the height. The muscles are good and everything. I think it's the width of the chest. It's just way too small for the proportions of the head to the chest. Of the arms, look at how muscular these arms are compared to the chest. I feel like if they had just made the chest a little bit more bigger, this would be so much more better as a figure. I'm not even a fan of this one. The jutted out part of this one right here, the jaw. Like, this would have been much nicer for me. And yes, I'm envious that the 2000X collectors have Mondos to fall back on, but at the same time, those are like 80 or $100. Yikes! And this is $20. For $20, I think I'm pretty much happy with what I'm getting right now. It's really nice how they flushed that completely. Did we ever get a Masterverse 2000X line? And I wonder if Well, I know this definitely won't fit in a 2000X, but I wonder if everything else would. Um, the bracer is part of the forearm. This is separate from the legs. I'm just wondering, is like if you really want to, is it possible to swap things out of this one and put it on the Masterverse, specifically the head over here? I did see Masterverse vintage Skeletor. I didn't even grab it, but I wonder if I should have now, just so I can swap the head out and put it on that body. But then it won't fit. Nothing will fit. You know what I mean? Huh. Did we get a Masterverse version? I don't know. Anyway, so this is $20. What's my value system for this one? Actually, let me look at it again and see what's going on outside of the camera. I kind of zoomed out so you guys can see. I mean, like, it's just the head seems a little bit too big for the body. The body proportions are actually not bad, and especially once you start bringing this down so you have a little bit more torso space. For 20 bucks compared to $100, this is not a bad figure. Am I happy with it? I just think it just could just be better. I think, like a smaller head. It's a skeleton anyway, so this head shouldn't be like sized like this. Otherwise, his head, this almost looks like a mask rather than an actual headpiece. And this is designed almost as if you can probably replace this, because this is a separate piece from the hood. You can probably replace this face with something better proportioned to this one. If it weren't for that, if it weren't for the misproportions of the head to the body, I think this would have been much better to look at. As it is, I'm going to give it a value of 10 rather than 12. I think it could have been better. I think it could have been better. And, you know, it's the same thing with the He-Man figures. Like the He-Man figure, the mistake on the He-Man figure was the thinness of the thighs. But on top of that, which was I was able to fix. What I wasn't able to fix is the head, the face. Face just looks off for me, and it's just so weird. And that probably is one of the reasons too why I'm kind of like not as enthusiastic about this line than anything. It's like almost right there at the finishing line, and then it stumbles, like in the last few yards, because the head is just throwing it off. And if you've watched my reviews with G.I. Joe, Marvel, and all that stuff, I've always said you need to concentrate on the portrait. Get all your paint detail on the portrait, because if you get the portrait correct, then everything else can be forgiven. Now, with Masters, look at how much paint application you're getting in this one compared to what you would get on G.I. Joe. You have paint here, red here. This one, you have... is that painted over there, or is it just lighting over there? But then you have some sort of wash going on in the skills over here. You have paint over here. Like, paint's just all over throughout. But the face just fails. Same thing with this He-Man. The paint just fails. The head, the paint on the portrait is equal to the level of paint you get all over the figure. There's nothing special about it. Nothing draws you out or in. So I'm going to give it a value of 10 with a price range of 20 bucks. It could have been better. I mean, like, fixing that head would make it a 12, I think. So I'm looking at it all around, and it's just, the body looks really good. You don't need double... That's what we've seen with the Star Wars TV scene Black Series. You don't need double joints. Honestly, I used to believe that I want full articulation and everything, but it's like now that I've gotten into it, it's like, yeah, maybe we don't really need it that much. We can pose, you can get a lot of poses with some of the single joints if it's done correctly. Yeah, value 10 basically for Skeletor's 2000X collection. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Bye.